Why did you want to become a recording artist?
I've always wanted to be a singer. I always had a passion for singing ever since a little girl. So I knew what I wanted to do. I really never had the passion for anything else, never had interest in doing anything else. I just love singing. And I honestly am the only person in my family that's musically talented. So I kind of feel like I was destined for this, you feel me? So, yeah.
How'd you get into it? Do you remember what age it was back then?
I was real young. I remember my mom bought me a karaoke machine for my birthday one year, and I just walk around the house singing. This was before she even knew I could sing. I just sing nonstop, and I really didn't know I could sing, you know. I'm just singing. This is what I love to do. Until one day, it was me and my cousins was playing American Idol, and I sung for them, and they was just like, "Do your mama know you can sing?" I was like, "I don't know for real." So they took me out in the living room where my mama was sitting, and I sung for my mama. She just started crying. She was like, I never knew you could sing. And ever since then, yeah, I just been singing for everybody. My whole family wanted to hear me sing. I was making them pay me dollars to sing, hustling.
You remember what type of genre of music it was back then?
R&B, definitely. My dad put me on to the old school. I was listening to Mary J., Prince, Lauryn Hill, Anthony Hamilton. You know, I was listening to that real feel-good soul R&B.
Now, I'm kind of confused by something you just said, so just fill in the gap here. I know you were into music when you were really young.
Right.
But then when it was American Idol time, you said that's when your mother found out, I guess, you could sing.
Right. So we were just playing American Idol, like as far as the game. My mom didn't know I could sing as far as if I sounded good. She knew that I loved singing and singing around the house. She never just listened to me, you know what I'm saying, and paid attention to what I was doing until that moment.
So this was like a karaoke game, or?
Literally, kids, we were just playing, we were just imagining, like, okay, you be the judges, Simon, and I'm like, I'm going to get on the panel and I'm going to sing for y'all. They was like, hold on, you could really sing. I'm sure it was my idea because I love singing.
How did you learn? Did you have a teacher for this?
No, I never took vocal lessons until I got signed, actually. It was just, something that I was gifted, born with.
Was that strange having to do vocal lessons?
Yeah, definitely, because, for singing for so long, not doing it the proper way and it's just like a different language, You were already so used to singing one way, and it's like, okay, now you gotta actually sing the real way, the correct way, which is hard because singing, I used to sing from my chest, so learning to sing with your diaphragm.
What did the vocal teacher think? Because you were singing a different way and this was just like raw, natural talent. What did they judge your natural talent before they actually start giving you these lessons and start honing in on something specific?
They knew it was potential. I had control, and they just knew I just needed to learn how to use my diaphragm, and so I could be able to just hit those notes correctly.
Now, any musical influences back then when you were growing up?
Of course. All that I just named, my daddy put me on. Mary J., she's a big one. I really love her. Prince. Keisha Cole was one of my inspirations as well. Yeah, growing up, I used to always sing her songs.
Ever had a chance to meet any of these people in real life yet?
Not yet, but I went to the BET Awards this year, and I got to see Mary J. live twice. I caught her at the end at the Staples Center the night before. Then I seen her at the BET Awards the next day live, but I haven't got to meet him yet. Hopefully that's coming soon,
She performed?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's one thing to hear somebody sing, their studio recordings and things of that nature, or maybe see performances on TV, but then to actually see them in real life, what would you actually think?
No, it's crazy. And to be honest, like, I never went to a concert or seen anybody live really before that. Like, honestly, going to see a show and sitting down and seeing a concert. I go to you know, performing as far as my shows that I've had and other artists are on that, but it's different. It's a different feel. Like, I don't know. It's just you get the whole experience. You get to see how they are on stage. You just love them even more.
Now, Prince has passed away, but you mentioned Mary, you mentioned Keisha Cole.
Mm-hmm.
If you had the chance to collab with one of them, who would it be?
I had to choose one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would say Mary. Mary. I feel like we can do some real inspirational stuff. Yeah, I love Mary.
If you had the chance to collab with Mary, is it something you would want to do from scratch? Or
Yeah, definitely. I would want to get in the studio with her and just vibe. Yeah, from scratch.
Now, how many years at this point would you say you've been perfecting your craft for? Taking being a recording artist serious for?
I've been taking it serious since I went viral back in 2017. So November of 2017.
And it's 2019 as of this interview.
Mm-hmm.
In those 2 years, have you ever felt like quitting?
No, never. I mean, what I was doing was way worse than this, you know what I'm saying? And I love what I'm doing. I love the position that I'm in. I love that I get to take care of my family. And yeah, inspire others out there. Nah, I don't never want to quit. It's overwhelming at times, but never wanted to quit.
When you went viral with that first song, what was that song about back then?
The Rolling Piece. So that was the remake that I did, Kodak, and just vibing. It was just, you know, nothing thought of. Just put it out on Snapchat and it just went crazy.
How did that song go viral? People post stuff on Snapchat all the time.
A lot of people started screenshotting or screen recording it, and you know that's when it just had came around and putting it on their social platforms. And I was just like, all right, let me go ahead and put it on mine. First went viral on Twitter. It didn't really go too viral, but it started doing numbers. And I put it on my Instagram. It went dumb on Instagram. They were putting it on big pages. Big pages were sharing it, and literally my followers just coming in by the thousands. My platform just grew overnight.
You went viral in 2017. At what point does quality control come in that chronological order there between 2017 and 2019?
So last year I put out a single called Myself. After the covers that I did, I wanted to put out an original piece, and that did good independently. We got a lot of numbers, a lot of feedback. So that's when the label started, like, you know, calling. I sat down with most labels, and QC was the last label that I sat down with that contacted me through a DM. Coach K just DM'd me, and he was just like, I want to sit down with you, meet with you before you make your decision. And so I sat down with him, and the vibe was just genuine. You know, I could tell they really just cared about me and my story and not wanting to change me, just enhance what I had already going on. You know, that was my biggest fear coming into this. I didn't really want to sign with a label because I didn't feel like I proved myself enough. So, because being that I only did a couple covers and that one piece of original music, so I was just real nervous about that. Didn't want them to put me on the shelf, but I knew they believed in me since day one, you know.
Was it and you know, some people are open about finances and stuff like that, and some aren't, but I'll ask you this anyways. Was it the best financial deal out of all those deals that you were offered? Or it was just, I guess, the vibe and what you personally liked out of QC that you chose them?
Yeah, it was definitely just the vibe. The vibe. They was with whatever. They was, you know what I'm saying, down to match whatever, so yeah, it was the vibe.
Was that ever a worry? Because at that time when you decided to choose QC, I believe it was just all rap acts on that record label. Never a singer.
Never.
Was that a worry at all, signing to a record label or an imprint that had no previous experience with singers?
No, I didn't have a worry. I was excited to, first of all, be the first R&B act that they were, interested in signing. And it was just, a surreal moment. It is a surreal moment, being the first R&B act. I just feel like I got a lot to prove.
Now I want to ask you this. When you're in the recording studio, top 3 things you need in the studio.
What y'all loving it? All right. So top 3 things. I need some pistachios, because I love pistachios.
Okay.
Just need a little snack that's not going to, mess my vocal cords up, being that I am a singer. Another thing that I need is water, of course. Water and tea, so that's the second thing. The third thing, let me.
Top 3 things you need in the studio.
I almost be, I ain't gonna say that. Top 3 things. Dang, that's hard. I guess my phone, yeah.
Okay, your phone.
I'm gonna say my phone. I ain't gonna be extra.
Specific type of water?
Core. Or Fiji.
Specific type, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm a little bougie now.
Specific type of tea?
Throat coat or green tea.
And specific type of pistachios?
What's the brand called? I don't know what the brand is called, but it's just a green and black bag, I'm sure.
I see.
With the shells on it, not shellless, because, yeah.
And what does the water or tea do for you specifically in the studio?
I need the water when my throat a little dry. The tea, it just, I don't know. The tea just, keeping something warm on your throat go a long way when you're singing.
No drugs in the studio?
The people that's with, I ain't, drugs?
Yeah.
Type of drugs.
Some people smoke, some people drink, some
Yeah,
people do other things.
My people smoke. I mean, it's not like, I ain't gonna be like no drugs while I'm around, you know what I'm saying? But
I mean specifically for you though.
Oh no, I'll be chilling. Tea and water.
Okay, just curious. Now, what about this? Craziest studio story, if you have one.
Craziest studio story? Yeah, I don't know if I have one. Just being in there hecka late. Yeah, I don't really have no crazy studio story.
Not yet.
Well, kinda.
Something you can share?
Nah, I ain't gonna say that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that.
Maybe next time.
Maybe. I'm gonna think about that one.
All right, we'll come back to that one. What about this, okay? Risk versus reward. What's the biggest risk you took for your music career so far?
Well, when I went viral, I was working at Walmart and getting my GED. I feel like just dropping that and just letting that go and just taking any opportunity that was given to me, that was a big risk on its own. And I wasn't scared of the opportunity that was coming my way. Yeah.
So you actually completed your GED or you didn't get a chance?
Nah. Yeah, I dropped out of high school when I was in 12th grade. Dropped out of high school, moved in with a dude, they didn't work out, and started working on getting my GED. And I went viral, so I was like, this can wait, if all things. But this a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I just chose this route. And yeah, I'm gonna get my GED in the future, for sure.
When it came to getting your GED initially, before you went viral, was that self-motivated decision or somebody suggesting to get that done?
No, yeah, it was definitely self-motivated. I was 18 at the time, and I was working at a barbecue joint, and I didn't really know where my life was headed. I didn't know I was gonna go viral and end up here. So I was just like, if anything, I gotta get my life together, set it up, get my GED. And I was gonna go to college after that for culinary, actually. I had that in works. I was gonna be a chef or something, I don't know. I don't even know how to cook, but No, yeah.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
This person that you lived with when you dropped out, are you still in a relationship with this person?
No. No, yeah. That ended in a couple months. You know, that didn't last long.
You broke it off with them? They broke it off with you?
Mm-hmm. They broke it off with me. Yeah.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Well, I'm gonna get a little bit of detail. Well, when I first moved there, I really just abandoned everybody as far as my mom and my daddy. Just ran away. I was 17 at the time. And it was 2 weeks before my 18th birthday. He had already had a child. And I was aware of this child. And when I got there after abandoning my people, he just was like, we gotta talk, you know. And he was just like, I got another baby on the way. So after me doing all this, he's like, I got another baby on the way. And just throughout time, you know, I guess he really wanted to be with his baby mama instead of me. So he broke it out. But he trying to come back. He be trying to come back, you know. He be texting and calling. Well, not calling because he ain't got my number. He be in my DMs, you know. They always come back. Especially now. They see you doing better.
Is this something that you just see and ignore? Or is this something that you still stay in communication with this person?
Ignore, yeah.
What did you learn from that situation there? This whole small detail that you shared with us of this experience there, making those decisions. Hindsight 2020, looking back at your life, what did you take from that?
As far as that relationship?
Just that whole situation period, dropping out, moving in with this person, then them breaking up with you. They obviously had a baby with somebody else. What do you learn or take away from that whole scenario?
It just kind of just gave me I was already independent, but I was looking for him as sort of like a getaway, you know what I'm saying? I was depending on him to change my life because that's what I thought was going to happen. Like, oh, I'm going to get with him and my life just going to be 10 times better. And no, it wasn't that way. So, like, yeah, just not depending on no man. You should never be dependent on no man. And that first relationship that I had taught me that. You know what I'm saying? Never depend on a man.
Was this an abusive relationship?
No, not no abusive relationship.
The reason why I ask is because when you cut off your parents and things of that nature, I hear when people are in abusive relationships.
Yeah, well, it was more so what I had going on. I was homeless at the time, so I just like left my mama and my brother in that situation without telling them, because how could you tell them like, oh, I'm finna leave y'all in this situation to go be with this man? It was just more so like, I gotta go. This opportunity to get my life on track, because this was when I was in high school and I was in 12th grade last semester and I'm failing in school. So I was like, the goal was to go live with him, go get back in school and, you know, get my life back together, graduate high school, but that just didn't happen.
After this relationship breaks apart, what was your relationship with your mother and your brother at that point?
Well, my mama, she ain't gonna hold no grudge for long, so we was cool. Literally, like probably a couple weeks after I moved in with him, we was talking on the regular again. You know, me and my mama close, so.
So how do you actually break the news that this is what happens? You move in with this guy and...
She already knew from the get-go. I didn't have to break the news.
Oh.
Yeah, she already knew what was going on, because I went there and I was living in Tennessee, so he lived in St. Louis, I'm originally from East St. Louis, so my dad still lived there. So the plan was I'm gonna move in with my dad and just have some type of stability and whatnot, and that just didn't work out either, because I'm the youngest of my dad's children and I was turning 18, and my dad was just like, when I brought up the thought of a man or can you meet this man, my daddy was like, hell nah, you need to, you know, be trying to get a job, get back in school, you need to focus on that, you need to be focused on no man, which he was being honest, but I was like, okay, I'm about to leave your ass too. So I just left, you know, just nothing abusive though. He didn't force me to do that.
You were 17 at the time of this relationship. How old was this guy you were with?
Well, he was 23 at the time, but I was turning 18 in 2 weeks, so.
How did you guys meet?
That's a long story. I started talking to him when I was 14, just through social media. I couldn't really have no real life boyfriend because, I can't go out and have dates. I was 14. I had strict parents, so they weren't playing none of that. So I just would talk to people on the internet and, just form relationships like that. But we were talking for 3 years, and I lied to him about my age initially. So that's why the age difference. But I told him before, we had linked up when I was 17. That was the first time I had ever met him in person and all that. And I was just like, I'm about to go back with you. And I was 17. I told him how old I was. I told him the truth. He was just like, the damage is already done. So, okay. Cool.
You were 14. What age did you state you were at that time?
I said I was 17 at that time. So he was 19 at that time, and I was telling him I was 17.
Was he honest about his age?
Yeah.
He was?
Yeah.
And he reaches out to you initially, or you reach out to him when this first relationship started?
Yeah, he was just more so like somebody on Instagram that was like always giving me compliments under my pictures and always in my DMs.
So he DMs you first?
Yeah.
Now, when you decide to drop out of high school, you were already in 12th grade. You're basically done.
Mm-hmm.
Why make that decision there at that time? Why
Well,
not
it
just...
really wasn't a decision.
Oh.
I mean, like, I was really feeling bad.
Oh.
So when I was, down and out homeless, I was really working a lot because I was just focusing on surviving, so getting money. And I was working late night shifts, and I wasn't really getting up, going to school, having the energy. Didn't really want to, I felt I was in a really depressed state, didn't really notice it, kind of ignored it. But when I did move back to Illinois, I wanted to get back in school, but after moving in with him, I had to bring in half the bill, so I started being a manager at Wingstop, and I had to pick up a second job just so I can bring in my portion of the bill, so I really didn't have time to get back in school.
After you end up breaking away from this situation, where do you end up living at that point?
I moved back to Tennessee, and I just start hotel hopping. I was sleeping on friends' couches, friends' houses, and that didn't last long, I just was uncomfortable, so I hit up some biological family. I was actually raised by my stepdad, so I didn't really know my biological father that well, but I had been in contact with some of my biological family on Facebook. So I reached out, and I was just like, I really want to get my life together. That's when I was like, I want to get my GED and, focus on where I'm going to be in the next couple of years. So they took me in, and they were living in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and they took me in. That's when I got a job at Walmart. Working on getting my GED, yeah.
Didn't want to go back with mom and brother?
Mom was living with a boyfriend that I couldn't live with, and my brother living with girlfriend, so I didn't have a place to go.
And the father you mentioned in St. Louis, this was the stepfather?
Yeah, but I say he my real daddy because he raised me.
Okay, just for clarity purposes, just asking. Now,
Gotcha.
At Walmart, what was your actual role there?
I used to do, I was in the back unloading the truck and then stocking the groceries in the aisles. Nothing major,
Proudest accomplishment so far in your music career at this point?
Just signing the deal, yeah. And so fast. I feel like it happened so fast.
Biggest failure so far in your music career? Biggest flop?
I don't think I had one.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, hopefully not ever.
What is the biggest misconception of you at this point? What's one thing people think about you, but it's not true?
Like I'm stuck up, or I've been handed a silver spoon. That's what they say all my life. I see that a lot on the internet. They feel like, you know, everything's just been handed to me and I'm just this light-skinned. You know, I'm getting this favoritism because I'm light-skinned, or getting all this handed to me because I'm light-skinned. But, nah, yeah. They don't know what I've been through to get here.
Has this misconception, have you feel like you've lost opportunities because of this misconception?
No. No, yeah, it's just people talking on the internet.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Craziest rumor you heard about yourself?
Craziest rumor.
Yeah.
Whew, I ain't really heard no rumors about me.
Now, why is that? Sometimes I do an interview with a person, they have a lot of rumors about them, and sometimes it's like this case here where you don't have a lot of rumors about you, if at all. Why do you think that is?
I don't feel like I put a lot of my personal business out there on social media. Now, I have a lot of personal music, which I have an EP dropping next month called Tell Your Story. So, yeah, it's going to really just tell y'all who I am. So maybe some rumors will come up then. I don't know. Yeah.
Now, what's a question people ask you you cannot stand, you maybe even hate to answer? It seems to be the same question over and over again. Is there a question that just gets under your skin there?
A question that get under my skin?
Yeah, people ask
I don't like
you.
the question, I was just talking about this, I don't like that question where you see yourself in 5 years or something like that. Where do you see yourself in so-and-so? I don't like that question.
I never asked that question.
Yeah, I just don't like that question because I ain't see myself here just, you know what I'm saying, just a year and a half ago. You don't know, a lot can happen. You don't know what God got planned for you. I just be going with the flow.
Do you care what people think of you?
I used to, but I don't no more. Yeah, nah, yeah. You know, growing up biracial, my mom is white, my dad's black. I grew up in an all, like, black community. So I was, like, always that outsider, I feel like. I was probably, like, the lightest thing in school, in elementary and middle school. And then I moved from there to Tennessee, which was mostly white kids. And I was just like this ghetto thing coming in from East St. Louis, living in this small ass country town. Yeah. No, yeah. I used to care. I used to get, I ain't really had no friends, you know. But as I got older, that shit don't mean nothing.
So what was there a specific turning point when you go from caring to not caring? Or it was just like a progression over time?
Oh, definitely a progression over time. You know, you let things get to you for no reason. Honestly, I just felt like it's a waste of time and realizing that.
Now, I know when some people care about other people's opinions of them, it can lead to health issues.
No, yeah.
For some people, it's a certain level of stress. For others, it's anxiety. For some, it's depression. Worst case, suicidal thoughts. Did you ever face any of these obstacles when you did care about another person's opinion of you?
No, yeah. I never took it that far. Probably cried a little bit, you know, but never like suicidal or nothing like that. Now, I've experienced people like that, you know, and people just, you know, take it a little differently. You know, I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't understand why, you know, don't know what's going on in their head.
Now, I know how you feel about people's opinions of you personally, but what about your music? Do you care about people's opinions of your actual music?
Nah, because it's me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah, if you can relate to it, you can relate to it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You know? I don't really care. I mean, I want people to love my music, and I want people to, you know, relate to my music. I know people gonna relate to my music.
What are your keys to success? What are some things that make you successful at this point?
I got a motto. Now, I say you don't really become successful till you start being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I say that because, I mean, like that video I posted was the first video of me with my face in it. And I wasn't comfortable with doing stuff like that. But as soon as I did that, it was just nothing but success.